Okay, next step is we're going to fit our Sirius Air Hero 2 to our knife, and it already comes with sticky already on it. And basically in the middle here, zoom in if I can, we've got these two holes are basically the centre of the frame, and there's these 4 mounting holes around it. So I'm going to use those 4 holes as my guide as I fit the air. And I'm just going to look at this and line it up, because I need to make sure I've got it centered, and I need to make sure it's square when it's done. So I'm just going to have a damn good look right now at how it sits around those screws. Okay, now I'm going to peel off the sticky. Now the air ships with code already in it. So all I really need to do as far as the setup on this thing goes is my radio setup. And I'll go through that in another video. I've already done an unpack air video showing how to do that. And that's my air in place. That's on. I can see from the hole spacing that it's square and straight and it's solid, and that's done. Cool. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is route my servo leads and plug them into the air so that they're in. And then I'm going to have to do some cable tying up underneath. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. If you're going to be running a Mobius, the battery is going to sit in from the back here, and you'll be plugging this into the power loom, probably by pulling the lead out there and doing that. And a bit of slide backwards and forwards there is going to be your COG. If you're not running a Mobius, the battery's going to sit in this centre bit. So you're going to be sliding it in again from the side, plugging it in somewhere around here, and it's going to need to slide backwards and forwards a little bit again to do your balance. Okay, so you're going to have to do a bit of cable routing in here to allow for that. Okay, and ultimately you might find we'll need to move one of these. Probably these ones might need to move back to there, but I'll get it put together and I'll sort it out. But I may need to move this back if I'm going to go for a centre battery, just depending on where the CG ends up, but I don't think I will. But more importantly, I'm going to have to worry about getting some cables routed around where this battery might sit, okay, because it is going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. So I'm going to have a bit of a play with that. Okay, so here's what I've done with the wiring. It's a bit of a tight fit in here, and I've actually changed my mind. I've gone to the 30mm spaces in here. Luckily I have a couple of spares already, but if you do want to go to the 30mm spaces, you probably want to buy a couple more of the 30mm from Multi-rotor. At least I'd say 3, 1 in the nose and 2 in the tail. And I'm probably going to drill out those holes there at the points to allow an M3 screw through those 2mm holes. Anyway, I'll get back to that later. Thing with the knife is there's lots of different ways you can build it, so it's pretty groovy. So that's what I've done with my wiring layout. I've got my power socket over there, and when the battery sits through the frame, I'll be able to plug that in there. Okay, and later on, if I'm not flying with the Mobius. If I am flying with the Mobius, the battery will go in from the back and plug in around that way. So, all wonderful. Nice thing is I'll be able to actually also get a Velcro strap on the battery when it goes in from the back. So, cool. So that's the wiring done. I've got my receiver in. I'm using the FR Sky TRF4, so I'll have to reprogram the air for some input, but that's as easy as dropping in a new sketch file. That won't be terribly hard. So I'm actually going to leave the build at this stage, and I'm going to do the air setup, which I've covered in another video, how to take an air out of a box and make it work. And then I'm going to put the base plate on it, and I'm going to give it a fly, test fly, basically in that configuration. So that's pretty much ready to rock and roll. So I'll come back with the next lot of movies for you a little later. I'll be showing you how to fit the Mobius on, how to fit the GPS, and a few other nice little things like that. So catch us later. Bye.